This is your Barbados Today Evening update for Friday, December 17. Prime Minister Mia Mottley doubled down on her criticism of the ongoing industrial action taken by some nurses. In a strongly worded statement today, PM Mottley insisted that the action is unwarranted and is a potentially dangerous situation. She again blasted General Secretary of the Unity Workers Union, Caswell Franklin, for taking the action she deems uncalled for.
Having read the comments attributed to Bishop Adderley, Senator Franklin and Derek Allen, I must say that I'm even more disturbed by this totally unwarranted and potentially dangerous situation that has been created by the Franklin-inspired strike. What are they really saying to us in today's media? Who is really going to hurt? Are they saying that the lives of Bajans don't matter? Are they saying that the lives of working people and poor people don't matter? Exactly to what lengths will this group go to make a political point? Are you really boasting that you have paralyzed the national vaccination program in the middle of a dangerous and deadly pandemic with new variants looking around? Are you seriously personally satisfied that your actions are preventing your own citizens from getting access to potential life-saving medications when the clear evidence emerging is that this is what protects us against these new variants that are lurking?
Mottley also chided opposition leader Bishop Joseph Adderley and the General Secretary of the DLP, Derek Allen, for their support of Senator Franklin and has called for common sense to prevail.
But let us remember who is at risk and who may die as a result of it. They need vaccines to protect themselves from death and hospitalization. And boasting that you have collapsed the program when there is clearly a need for vaccine protection for Delta and Omicron is a most unfortunate development. And this is not just politics now, this is ignorance and recklessness.
However, Democratic Labour Party spokesman on health, Andrea Worrell, suggested that Prime Minister Mottley's intervention on the matter was unfortunate and it has only thrown fuel on the fire.
The unfortunate intervention by the Prime Minister in the strike by the Unity Workers Union nurses has thrown fuel on the fire when the matter needs to be quickly resolved. The nurses striked over long-standing issues which were made even more perplexing as a result of tremendous burden which the healthcare sector had been under as a result of the COVID surge. The safe zones and vaccine mandate may be the catalyst for the strike, however, more pressing issues are on the card. Instead of addressing these issues, the Prime Minister focused on undermining the character of the striking workers and the lone union which saw it fit to take a stand for the rights of the workers in Barbados.
Worrell is urging the government to work quickly to address the long-standing issues raised by nurses.
The nurses made it clear that the vaccines alone will not make their work environment safe and that other long-standing issues needed to be addressed. Among these are the payment of hazard pay and allocation of adequate PPE to nurses, including those at the polyclinics and not just the ones at the isolation centers. Other critical issues included the overall safety of the working environment as well as the cleanliness of the working environment. With increasing incidents of bed bugs in the facilities, the nurses should be heard and negotiated with in a fair and cordial manner.
Switching gears now to the House of Assembly, the Customs Department has uncovered several incidents where some persons have sought to evade paying the correct level of taxes on imports. Minister in the Ministry of Finance Ryan Strong made the disclosure today during the debate on the Income Tax Country-by-Country Reporting Act. Strong revealed that the altered information was recently discovered due to the newly required post-clearance audits following recent upgrades to the Customs Department and the full rollout of the Asakuda World System.
Has been revealed that some persons, not all, some persons, have submitted information, invoices that have been altered in some instances, sir, which is in effect, sir, tampering the report in the context of what is here, and that was done specifically, sir, to avoid the level of taxes that one would ordinarily have to pay, and therefore I think it's important for the public to appreciate that the provision of information to tax authorities is a very important requirement, and not just the provision of information, but the provision of the right set of information. And therefore, sir, having recognized that that is an issue for some people, as you would appreciate the process, you would expect that having discovered it, the department then obviously would seek to rectify the issue and to recover the said taxes that would be due and owing to the department. So
Barbados will not roll over and play dead as the global tax compliant rules continue to change. That's the assurance of Minister of International Business and Industry Ronald Topping, who made comments as he added his voice to the debate on the Income Tax Country by Country Act today. He said there is a constant shifting of the goalposts when it comes to compliance, and having to meet new international tax rules is frustrating.
The time that decision was made, it really has been, life has not been the same, especially in developing countries like Barbados and other countries. It has basically been like a roller coaster ride that you're constantly on. And in fact, the goalposts keep changing. And quite frankly, Mr. Speaker, sometimes it seems as though you're being shifted to another playing field altogether. Not only that the goalposts are shifting, but you're being put on a different playing field altogether.
In other news this Friday, 315 vulnerable persons were treated to an early Christmas luncheon today, thanks to the generosity of Massey Distribution. The Salvation's Army Business Development Manager, Shermer Evelyn, told Barbados Today that while the charitable organization was pleased with the donation, they continue to have more demand for their services. She attributed to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The luncheon is in need. Our food hampers are in need. We didn't even have enough. We don't have enough to give out. So we basically do 250 tickets. And that doesn't include our Meals on Wheels persons, who are 65 persons that we have on our Meals on Wheels. So that would just tell you the need. Before we used to have on Meals on Wheels about 30, but now we have escalated to 65.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, my name is Michelle Thompson. I'm a visually impaired person. I am also a member of the National United Society of the Blind of Barbados. I am vaccinated. I took the vaccination due to the fact that I am diabetic, I'm asthmatic, and I also have high blood pressure. I had no side effects. Everything went calm and smooth, as my doctor said it would go. Please, people, go ahead and do the right thing.
Let's roll up our sleeves and get back to living.
To regional news now, the Antigua and Barbuda Parliament has approved the lifting of the state of emergency and curfew that has been in place since March last year to curb the spread of the coronavirus pandemic that has killed 117 people and infected 4,178. But Prime Minister Gaston Brown told legislators that while the SOE and curfew will be lifted on December 24, the measures could be reversed if the need arises. We get the details from ABS TV.
Prime Minister Gaston Brown moving the resolution in the lower house Thursday. He says the state of emergency's removal will also mean the end of the curfew, but certain health protocols will remain.
The wearing of masks, social distancing, and sanitization, those remain in place. There are also certain restrictions that will be further enforced in terms of socializations, maximum amount of persons to be socialized at any given point. And also in terms of fetes, the Cabinet yesterday determined that no large fetes should be allowed within the next 3-week period to allow for a safe Yuletide season, recognizing that the Yuletide season is one of the opportunities for spread based on increased socializations.
On the international front, COVID-19 vaccines from Johnson & Johnson and China's Sinopharm, as well as Russia's Spuntek V-Shot, had no neutralizing activity against the Omicron variant of the coronavirus. That's according to a new study which has not yet been peer-reviewed, but we get more in this report from Reuters TV.
Another setback for J&J. A study showed COVID-19 vaccines from Johnson & Johnson, as well as China's Sinopharm and Russia's Sputnik V, had no neutralizing activity against the Omicron variant. By contrast, the study done by the University of Washington, a unit of Verb Biotechnology, and others also found that shots from Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Pfizer-BioNTech retained activity against the latest variant, but the antibody response was much less than with the original strain. It has been a challenging time for J&J. The news comes just one day after the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommended Americans get Moderna's or Pfizer-BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccines over J&J's due to rare but sometimes fatal cases of blood clotting.
That's news, but for the very latest, you can visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.